Hello there, Celtic supporters. Welcome back to your go-to place for all things Celtic FC. Tonight, we're diving deep into the latest developments at Lennoxtown. And if you're watching this, you probably already know the season has been far from straightforward. Celtic have been struggling to find any real rhythm on the pitch, and the mood around the squad seems heavier with each passing day. There's an air of tension that you can almost feel just looking at the players' body language in training, arms folded, faces down, and eyes that barely meet each other's. This isn't a group buzzing with confidence. The first few games under Wilfried Nancy have been a roller coaster, and unfortunately, the thrill has mostly come from how badly things have been going. Losing the opening 3 matches sets a tone, and it's clear the squad has yet to find its feet under the new manager. Speaking of Nancy, last night's social media activity added an unexpected twist. He changed his profile picture on X, formerly known as Twitter, to a Venn diagram, and it sparked a lot of discussion among fans. Now, yes, that is his actual account. It's been around for over a decade, dating back to when he managed in Montreal, so anyone trying to prank him would have had to plan something seriously elaborate. But what's striking here is not the history or the technicalities, it's the timing and the message itself. The diagram symbolizes focusing on what you can control and letting go of what you can't. A fair enough philosophy, really. But posting this late at night, the day before a game, right after 3 defeats, that doesn't exactly scream reassurance. Fans want focus, they want clarity, they want results, not philosophical diagrams circulating online, and it's hard not to read it as a reflection of the broader uncertainty at the club. Training at Lennoxtown yesterday didn't exactly help calm nerves. Images shared by SNS show a camp that looks less like a team and more like a group of individuals struggling to find cohesion. Luke Macau, arms crossed, scowling, clearly frustrated. Johnny Kenny trying to keep composure but not masking the lack of spark. Other players appearing disinterested, disconnected, almost going through the motions rather than working together. Rumors about Nancy and Callum McGregor not seeing eye to eye aren't doing any favors to the collective morale either. McGregor, usually a constant presence in front of the media, hasn't spoken since Nancy's appointment. That absence speaks volumes. It hints at an underlying disconnect between the squad's leadership and the players. And when your captain and manager are out of sync, the ripple effect can be devastating. It's tough because you want to feel some sympathy for Nancy in a way. He stepped into a job that's never easy, and perhaps he underestimated just how challenging it would be to turn things around so quickly at a club like Celtic. The squad is talented, yes, but there's a stubbornness and an expectation that doesn't forgive early mistakes. Nancy is saying the right things publicly. He's trying to instill belief. He's talking about focusing on what matters and letting everything else fall into place. But it's early days, and the reality on the training ground suggests that belief hasn't fully landed yet. Fans and players alike need to see results for the words to carry weight. Without that, even the best intentions can feel hollow. Social media adds another layer to the drama. Nancy has spoken before about stepping away from platforms to focus on coaching, but last night's post shows that even the best laid plans can get complicated when communication happens in public. There's a tension between wanting to be open and needing to control the narrative, and at a time when the squad is fragile, every public message is magnified. It's not just about what's being said, it's about how it lands with the players, how it lands with the fans, and how it reflects on the club's stability. Injuries aren't helping either. Anthony Ralston has a cut under his right eye, minor but a distraction nonetheless. Kelechi Ian Ale is sidelined with a hamstring problem, and that absence further limits the options available for the starting 11. With Sebastian Tenki and Misha Belisha also unavailable, Nancy has fewer pieces to work with than you'd like at this point in the season. The question of who plays up front, who operates on the wings, and how to balance the squad has become a complicated puzzle with missing pieces. There's no clear left winger or right winger ready to take charge, and it leaves the team vulnerable from the outset, facing Dundee United tonight, who sit 8th with just 3 wins from 16 games. Should, in theory, be manageable, but given the mood in the squad and the ongoing tactical struggles, it feels like Celtic might be heading into another difficult outing. The media situation hasn't been kind either. Johnny Kenny, a young player, was the one facing the press after the cup final defeat, which is telling. Senior players traditionally step up in these moments, and their absence speaks to a lack of leadership presence when it's most needed. Kenny said the right things, of course, but there was a sense that it was performative, that the conviction behind the words didn't match the reality. That's a problem that extends beyond one player. It's indicative of a camp struggling to find direction and unity. Nancy's messages about focusing on what can be controlled, about disregarding outside opinions, might be philosophically sound, but they don't address the immediate need for cohesion and performance on the pitch. The pressure is mounting, not just on Nancy, but across the squad. Results in the first 3 games have been underwhelming, performances uneven, and confidence clearly low. Each match without a win compounds the uncertainty. While Nancy insists that only the player's belief matters, getting that belief to a level where it translates into results is no small feat. Comparison to past managerial comebacks, where teams recovered despite early setbacks, are unavoidable, but the current scenario doesn't show similar signs of unity or readiness. Every training session, every press conference, every social media post now carries weight far beyond what you'd expect under normal circumstances. It's a strange mix of frustration, hope, and disbelief that seems to hang over Lennox Town. Fans are critical, yes, but they're also anxious. The squad's lack of cohesion, the tactical missteps, the injuries, and the off-field distractions all pile up to create a situation where even a match against a lower-table side feels tense. Nancy's strategy, while perhaps sound in principle, is not yet producing tangible results. And as supporters, all you can do is watch, analyze, and hope that the cracks begin to mend before the season slips further away from control. Tonight, the stakes are clear. Celtic need focus, energy, and above all, belief. Any half-hearted performance could see frustration deepen, and with the current state of affairs, that outcome feels all too possible. Yet football always has a way of surprising, and perhaps tonight could be the night when the squad shows it's capable of more. The challenge lies in whether Nancy can galvanize the team under these testing circumstances, whether the players can rally behind him despite evident unease, and whether Celtic can begin to turn the tide in a season that has so far been turbulent and uncertain. As we turn our attention to the rest of the week, the atmosphere at Lennox Town seems heavier than ever. The injuries have really started to bite, and it's clear that Nancy is having to patch together a lineup with barely any consistency. Kelechi Ian Ale, missing with his hamstring issue, leaves a real gap in the middle of the park. And it's a problem that goes beyond simply replacing one player with another. The team is already low on cohesion, and every enforced change risks upsetting the fragile balance that's been holding them together, barely for the opening fixtures. Meanwhile, Anthony Ralston's cut under the eye, while minor in the grand scheme of things, is emblematic of the physical battles this squad is now facing, both on and off the pitch. Celtic need players to step up, to show resilience, but as we've seen in training sessions, that spark just isn't there at the moment. It's almost as if the squad has collectively paused, waiting for something, perhaps a signal, a tactical adjustment, or simply a glimpse of leadership that can shift the mood. The situation with Wilfried Nancy remains a fascinating one. He's certainly trying, and you can't fault him for that. He talks about controlling what you can, ignoring the outside noise, and focusing on the players. But the reality is that his messages haven't landed in the way he intended. The Venn diagram profile picture, posted late at night, while theoretically wise, came across as disconnected. Fans don't want abstract wisdom. They want evidence on the pitch. They want to see training translate into goals, tackles, and wins. And right now, the disconnect between Nancy's philosophy and what's actually being executed is stark. The mood among the players, the lack of conviction in post-match interviews, and the absence of senior leadership when it matters all combine to make Lennoxtown feel more like a workshop than a fortress of professional preparation. The players look lost at times, unsure who to follow, unsure whether the manager has the answers. And in football, uncertainty like that can spread faster than any tactical misstep. There's also the media side to consider, and it's another layer that adds pressure. Johnny Kenny, the young lad, had to face the press after a disappointing cup final defeat, which is unusual. Normally, senior figures in the squad would step up and take the responsibility, yet there he was, speaking the words, giving the lines, but without the weight behind them. You could sense that he was saying the things expected of him rather than expressing genuine belief. That sends a message to the rest of the squad too, if the young players are fronting and the seniors are staying quiet. There's a leadership void. Nancy is aware of it, no doubt, but a manager can only do so much if the squad isn't buying into his vision. Players need to trust their coach, but they also need to trust each other, and that internal trust seems fragile at best. The looming match against Dundee United tonight brings all of these issues to the fore. United sit 8th in the league, and on paper, Celtic should be the stronger side. They've only managed 3 wins in 16 games, and their recent form isn't particularly intimidating. Yet, when you look at the state of Celtic's squad, it's easy to see why fans are nervous. Injuries, absences, and a team lacking belief create a scenario where even a lower table opponent becomes a real challenge. The tactical setup, the uncertainty over positions, and the lack of natural width could see Celtic struggling to assert dominance. You can imagine the tension in the dressing room as the players prepare to step onto the pitch, knowing they need to deliver, but uncertain if they can. Nancy's approach to the media, meanwhile, continues to draw attention. He emphasizes that opinions from outside the club, whether from fans or journalists, don't matter as much as the players' belief. It's a fair point, but it only holds if the players are actually united. Right now, reports of misalignment with McGregor, combined with visible disengagement in training, suggest that the squad isn't entirely on the same page. That's a problem you can't fix with a motivational tweet or a late-night profile change. Unity must be built on shared effort, trust, and belief in the plan, and with each passing match, the pressure mounts to create that cohesion quickly before results slip further away. Looking at the starting 11, Nancy is in a tricky spot. The absence of several key players means the lineup could look unfamiliar and disjointed. There are few natural options on the wings, forcing tactical improvisation. Up front, it's unclear who will take charge, while defensive stability is tested by the lack of consistent personnel. Every positional change carries risk and the margin for error is slim. In a squad already struggling with confidence, these choices can be the difference between salvaging a performance and falling further behind. Tonight, Celtic will need more than skill. They'll need heart, focus, and collective commitment to get the job done. It's not just about tonight either. The season ahead feels daunting with a squad that's missing direction. Past attempts to resurrect performances after poor starts show that belief and momentum can change quickly, but they also require a foundation of trust between players and manager. Right now, that foundation feels fragile. The fans, naturally critical but still loyal, are watching closely, scrutinizing every touch, every pass, and every decision. A poor showing tonight could erode confidence further, while a positive performance might just begin to restore faith. Yet, with the current dynamics, even a decent result might not be enough to quiet the underlying unease that's been building since Nancy's appointment. Before we proceed, subscribe to our channel and enable notifications to receive all exclusive news about Celtic FC. Don't miss any details about your favorite team. It's extremely important for Celtic FC fans. Whispers have been doing the rounds in Glasgow that the next flashpoint in the Old Firm saga has come not from the pitch, but from the dugout. According to talk filtering through the punters and the back rooms, Danny Röhl, the German coach, long linked in quiet circles with the Rangers bench, has managed to light a fuse by allegedly aiming a sharp insult at the Celtic support. No microphones caught it clean, no official complaint has landed, yet the story has grown legs in the way only a proper Glasgow rumour can. Those close to the Gers claim Röhl was heard making a dismissive remark about the noise and passion coming from the hoop's end, suggesting it was all bluster and easy to ignore. In a city where every chant is weighed like gold dust, that sort of line is bound to sting. Celtic fans, already primed to read between the lines, took it as a straight-up provocation, while Rangers supporters have been split between a wry smile and a nervous glance over the shoulder. Insiders insist the comment was never meant for public ears, muttered in a private setting, and then passed on like a whispered secret in a pub snug. Still, the damage, if there is any, may already be done. Old Firm history teaches that words can linger longer than tackles, and a gaffer seen to belittle the opposition's faithful is playing with fire even before he's nailed down to the job. Röhl's camp, so the story goes, are keeping stum, hoping the noise will die down as quickly as it flared up. At Ibrox, there's a sense this might even harden resolve, a bit of siege mentality that Rangers folk have worn like a badge before. Across the city, at Parkhead, there's equal talk of remembering every slight. For now, it remains just that, a rumour carried on the cold air between two stadiums. But in Glasgow rumours have a habit of becoming fuel. And this one has all the makings of another chapter in a rivalry that never truly sleeps. Hello, fan. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel, as it means a lot to Celtic FC. Also, share your opinion about the news in the comments below. See you in the next video.